set up for the day. So, again, my name is Wayne Adams. I'm the current chairman of SNIA. We'll have Molly Rector, who's a board of director for SNIA as well as an active member and co-chair of the SNIA Analytics and Big Data Conference committee that's put on this conference for today. So we'll hear more remarks from her in a few minutes. Have a lot of sponsors for both events. We did cover the SDC sponsors. We thank them for their support. I think all the sponsors are pretty satisfied with the mezzanine experience through the receptions that we held. A lot of good tools. We also have the new sponsors that have come in for today for the Analytics and Big Data Conference. So as you're out there, there's yet more companies to go meet and greet and find out what types of solutions that they have in the analytics and big data space. Just at a very high level, the SDC side of our agenda for today looks as follows. We have the closing keynote here, and then we move into breakout sessions in the other rooms here. So after our morning keynote, there'll be a few minutes for those following the SDC tracks to go find the session that they would like to participate, and that's all part of your agenda. And then those that are working on the Plug Fest, the different Plug Fests are scheduled for close down throughout the day, and there's that ugly task of uncabling, packing, taping, and cursing, and then celebrating with the beer and said, wow, we've got a lot done this week. So that's going to go on. Hopefully there won't be anyone sleeping out on the couches in the lobby, but that can happen. And then with our Analytics and Big Data Conference that we have a full day agenda that starts with the same keynote that opens and closes 2 sessions. And then there's this board general sessions that you'll stay here for those that are following this track. And the general sessions and panel sessions will be here. And then we'll all share lunch out on the mezzanine. And then the Big Data Conference and Summit will then go into its breakout sessions and tracks, because there's a lot of topics that are very important, and you can't get them all in one day. So we have that. And then we end the day with the networking reception that brings everyone back together with the Analytics and Big Data Summit experience, and then we can compare and contrast our experiences, take suggestions for what we can do to improve on future programs that the committee is working on, as well as the general SNIA for future conferences. Our featured keynote that we'll do a deeper introduction for is Addison Snell, who's the CEO of Intersect 360 Research. He's well-renowned and visible on many different conferences as a speaker, trusted analyst, doing research and so forth. And I think he'll have a lot of interesting market data to share with us, and try to come up with hopefully complementary data. I looked up some IDC data that talks about market sizing and growth and year-to-year growth, and they're projecting by 2016 the big data space, but trying to get into micro-segmentation of the cloud business around the big data is going to be around $25 billion. It's growing greater than 30% year over year. So in terms of like IT spend, it's one of the higher growth areas. Earlier this week, I talked about basic hardware spend in IT, and this spend is more or less flat, even though we're still moving 25% capacity year over year. We're shipping exabytes by the quarter now to industry. As we heard from GoDaddy yesterday, they talked about their 30 petabyte operation, and I'm sure next year we'll probably have another 30–40% growth on top of that. So that's the state of our market that we work with. Just at a high level, this is the speakers that we have coming through the morning for the Analytics and Big Data, where we'll have presentations that will follow Addison that will cover about where's the Duke and that platform is, how do I get big data into it and work there. We have a number of sessions that will introduce aspects of vendors that are working in other key technology sectors, like the Active Archive Alliance, and how does long-term retention and work as part of the bigger strategy for data movement, data tiering. session with the panel where we'll have a number of the same speakers and experts, and they'll give everyone an opportunity to learn more and ask your questions. As part of every day here, we do ask all the attendees to fill out evaluations. You are incented to submit. You may be a winner of a gift card. Earlier in the week, we were looking for sponsors so that we could offer a $1,000 gift card. No one stepped up, so we're still at $100. Leo's been on standby for 3 days, but it didn't happen. But overall, we're getting a lot of good constructive feedback, and I know everyone feels like, geez, I'm only one voice, and sometimes it's that one voice that crystallizes something that we've heard over and over again that impacts what we'll do different for the next time to make it better and in tune with everyone. So your opinion counts, and those $100 makes it worth your while. So what's new, what's next? Earlier the week I spoke a little bit about SNIA's technical programs. Don Deal covered that as well. So I'm going to just do a little bit deeper statement on just a few programs and operations of SNIA that I didn't cover. One of them is our technology center. We've been in Colorado Springs since its inception, and we're going to be going on to our third site. We're going to be moving our operations at the end of the year into another part of Colorado Springs, and we're locking down that facility for a 5-year lease. So our commitment to our technical programs to do software development kits, PlugFest, and educational sessions is there. It's an available resource if you're part of another industry association that can also make use of that facility. If you're a company that's doing interoperability programs, it's available for also to bring in for special programs as well if you don't have upside capacity of your own facility, or you need certain infrastructure that a hotel can't provide. So our technology center is there. We have a dedicated website about that. It does have data center-like facilities in it, so you can bring in equipment. It's networked throughout all the workstations and workbenches, as well as the classrooms. So there's quite a lot to grab out of that. So some of the type of work that you hear about in other testing programs that are part of PlugFest take place there. So the SNIA program for its lab program and the performance test program is carried out there. All our software development kits are developed and housed there. So the most recent program that we're doing a lot of software development around is the cloud data management interface. And then once a year, one of the PlugFest is held there at the Tech Center. And as we've seen at this SDC event, we got the Cloud PlugFest there as well. One of our new testing programs that you're going to hear more about is around KMIT. It's a key management protocol standard that OASIS, another industry association, has created, and they were looking for an industry partner that could work on testing programs and bring together some common membership. So we have recently gone through prepping the technology center with a test bed, and starting later this month, we're going to be officially say we're open for business. So anyone that's working with KMIT as part of their product suite will be able to go through a conformance program, and the security forum will be working on doing market development, and our partner OASIS that develops the technology standard will also be helping us out. So the last 2 years, you might have heard about some of the program at RSA World, where there's been interoperability demonstrations, and now it's moving to good commercial implementation and adoption of the conformance test programs. Brings a different flavor of it's a commercially shipped product, and then it knows that it's working against certain stated profiles. Where sometimes in PlugFest, it's a proof of concept code that's getting ready to be commercialized, but it may not be into an official release yet. So later today, as part of the speaking tracks, there's an expert that works in both SNIA now as well as in OASIS that's been deeply involved with KMIT and covering more details about why KMIT is important as a key management standard within storage, and given the things that are going on around data privacy and around breaches, more ingrained security into our systems is a welcome year, we also talked about bringing out an improved endorsed testing program for the performance test suite for solid state storage. And so as the new test spec for version 1.1 came out, they also launched an endorsed tester program. And so that's one of three programs where SNIA is going to be working with industry test houses and having their test programs endorsed by testers that can deliver services. So SNIA doesn't necessarily want to be the tester in all these programs, and there's experts that are working with these standards. And so KBIP is like a new test program, and PTS for the performance test suite's another one. The SNIA Emerald program is another program that we'll hear more about. And then the Cloud Data Management Interface program, CDMI, will hear more about that with press releases probably around the Storage Networking World and around our Cloudburst conference. And then last is this past year we launched a new conference called SpeedyCon. It was a two-day technical conference that was geared at practitioners and data experts. As we're working through the plans for next 2014, we plan to expand that conference to a three-day conference. We'll add some additional programs like hands-on lab programs, and it'll be a technically focused program that will be aimed at vendors, system integrators, and IT departments, and technical staff, and so forth. And we, since you've attended this conference, we'll be part of our mailing list. We do call for papers and also sponsorship awareness programs coming out in late November. So if you want to pencil that down as look for that, that will be taking place. So those are some of the new things that we're continuing to work on to further bring the hard work that everyone is working on in these industry associations and the vendors that are adopting the standards and best practices and then bringing it to market. So with that, let's get back to this morning's agenda, which will feature a keynote. First, we're going to invite Molly Rector